Good morning, Mr. Peetz.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning, Gail.
Hey, morning. I'll let Gail sit over here today because I want to be able to see the screen. Oh, where's Amy?
She's coming. She said time was coming. She's
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Peetz, you're up.
Okay, well, good morning.
Are you
everyone.
waiting for Amy to bring the screen up? Okay. Thanks, Mickey. These little Mickey.
Well, before we get into this, I wanted to go over the other stuff first. Where's that at? There it is. All right, before we talk about this on the screen, what I sent you, let's step back a bit. This is all about the comprehensive plan and the countywide vision plan. And so I was promised that it'll be on your agenda next week.
okay.
And no pressure to Joanne or to David Renee at the prosecutor's office, so they can hear this. But it is ready to go. But we thought maybe in the meantime, we could start getting your juices flowing on the committees. The committees are extremely important. There's going to be two committees. One's the vision plan, who are the big thinkers, dreamers, if you will. And then there's going to be the comp plan, who are probably be more the implementers. And so I gave you a list. We did 4 quadrants. And if you visualize the county in 4 quadrants, we created those 4 quadrants. I'd love to have more people from the cities and villages and townships on the visioning committee versus the comp plan committee, only because I want the big dreams and the big ideas out of them, and then the people to make it work happen in the comp plan side. However, I did list a bunch of other agencies. You know, we have the county engineer's office, economic development folks. I think they're very important. I have Habitat on here, mental health, we need that, the Portage Park District, and many others on here. And so one of the things about this is the committee should probably be made up about 20 each. And the reason for that is if you go over 20, it becomes unruly. It's hard to get everybody's input, and it really becomes difficult. Plus there's expenses to making copies for everybody, and it gets, that expense only increases with more people in there. What I would like to do too is for continuity between the two, is have 3 to 5 of the members from the vision committee also serve on the comprehensive plan. So there's a continuity there. So the discussions that happen in one carry over to the other.
So would you split those, like you want to have some vision people in the comprehensive, or just want 5 people from the vision committee going over to the comprehensive?
Yeah, 5 people from the vision committee going over the
Now,
comprehensive.
would they be counted in the 20 members?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I put 5 of the 20 from the vision.
And so you might want, let's say, I'm just making stuff up here, but if you want, let's say you wanted somebody from Aurora, but you wanted also somebody from, let's say, Streetsboro, and you couldn't get them all on there, like quadrant 1 would be 5, quadrant 2 would be 5, quadrant 6, which includes Broomfield and Ravenna, and Neomed, Rootstown, all those areas, so I put 6 for them, and then I put 4 for the more rural communities, because there's 5 townships. So you might have a couple of them on the vision plan, but then you can put the rest of them, so they're still represented. You know, we want to get as much representation as possible, so that's what I'm trying to help with, is try to make sure people feel like they're represented, and everybody has an opportunity to be part of it. Yeah, again, again, when we're talking about the comp plan, we're talking probably about the 50,000 foot level, not the 500 foot level that you'd have in a community plan. So this is a county-wide plan. So we're trying to piece everybody together. We're not trying to over-dictate what they already want to do. We want to enhance what they're doing. That vision plan will share the big picture county-wide.
Well, yeah, we want to include it in our overall plan.
Yes, exactly. So,
and that's the biggest thing, is that we're not trying to come in and dictate to them their vision. We just want to include their vision in our overall.
right. And so with this list, I'm not asking you guys to make a decision obviously today, because that'd be impossible for you guys to do, but it's just get the juices flowing. We're not going to have a contract here until next week anyway. But this list is very important, as far as who's on there, just because they're going to be the ones helping guide that plan, that process.
Are you thinking we should find these people?
I'm asking for you to suggest.
Okay.
And then we go
But then
from
you
there.
guys will take care of it.
Yeah, some people are gonna say no, they're just too busy and stuff like that, and some people will say yes, and that's what we want.
Wouldn't
But-
we contact, like for the cities or townships, we'd contact like City of Aurora and say, who would you like on this committee?
Right.
Mayor Benjamin or Mayor Roscoe?
Right, or it could be economic development people,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
could be the engineer's office, it could be anybody, you know? And again, the ideal is 20, but if it turns out to be more than that, so be it. If it's less than that, again, so be it. But I think 20 is probably the optimal
The
number.
max that we would want.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And so then we're gonna have a steering committee, and then we're gonna have, our potential vision steering committee, and then we're gonna have the comprehensive plan steering committee. So do you wanna say what you expect from the Board of Commissioners? Obviously, you want us to have a steering committee.
For both.
What are you expecting from the BOC's participation?
Well, we have you guys down already for, when we get way further along in the process, for your approval of both the vision plan as well as the comp plan. So you're there. I know, there's been discussions, maybe you guys want to participate, and I'm not opposed to that, it just gets more complicated, I think, sometimes, because they're gonna rely on you for more of the decision-making, which may come towards the end. But then again, it's good to have everybody participating up front.
Well, I talked to Chris Maduri about that, and he said that, and we had talked that maybe, since the vision steering was Tony's idea, maybe have him as the commissioner there,
Mhm.
maybe Vicky as the alternate, or we can rotate. And then I wanna do the comprehensive plan steering committee, and again, Vicky and I can rotate. But he said he just doesn't want two commissioners at one meeting.
Right.
And so if everyone's in agreement on the board, maybe that's where we can start at as far as the board's involvement.
Right. Okay.
Acceptable?
Yeah.
So I'll be at the vision, put
How
my
did you-
blue glasses on.
The visioning's the more fun part because
Yes.
it's the big wish list kind of thing, you know? And, you know, I always tell people when you do visioning, it's like, you dream big to be big. If you dream small, you'll be small.
That's right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
how it, when we get to the comp plan side, we'll find out what's realistic. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And the other thing that's great about a comp plan, a lot of people say, oh, we can't afford all this stuff, and that's true. You can't afford it in year one, but you can afford it over 30 years, or you can work towards
And that's
affording it over 30
the
years.
whole thing, the comprehensive plan is the vision for the county.
The dream.
Right.
Other than month to month or year to year that we need to look ahead.
So what and the other thing too for you guys, I know that sometimes this whole, because we don't have a comp plan currently, and
Correct.
me and Gail have been working with Broomfield, for example, and we've been, you know, we talked about interactive maps before and things like that, so we thought we'd show you a little bit what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
And that's what this is up here, so we've
Todd,
been.
can I ask you a question first? How did you pick out the townships and, I mean, what was the method? for
Oh,
that?
so, okay, so like in quadrant one, you know, I have Aurora, Manaway, Streetsboro, Shalersville, and they're in that northwest corner. And they interact, everybody kind of interacts together all the time anyway, but I thought you know, I didn't want to have is have most of the people from, you know, or Kent or Ravenna, Streetsboro, and then the rest of the county, especially the eastern counties, feel like they were being unrepresented or left out of the
Okay,
process.
so this is kind of by location, is what the.
Yeah, let's make sure we got people representing the entire county.
Okay,
And so, that's why we did it this way.
okay.
And we might pull things out just by, you know, quadrant specific, you know, which they can give us, you know, more information on.
Okay.
And same with the eastern.
And I can tell you, Todd, just speaking for myself and my other two colleagues can jump in, you have come up with the list. I'm fine with you guys just going ahead and reaching out. I mean, I don't have a preference, for example,
No.
under quadrant 2, Freedom over Hiram.
Right.
You can just go ahead as far as I'm concerned, and Vicky and Tony jump
Agreed.
in. I think you guys can just go ahead and see the or the interest in it and take it from there, because we need everyone's feedback as far as I'm concerned, so.
We have the RPC board meeting coming up, you know, in the second week of May, so I can ask that way. You know, again, we could ask and they could say no, you know. So, but at the same time, there might be their colleague of theirs might want, or a representative on their, you know, their community would want to be on there to represent them.
Mhm.
So, okay, well,
Yeah, so you go ahead and take the lead on it.
we'll reach out to all these folks, create the list, bring it back to you for your blessing now.
There you go.
Makes it easy for us.
Because I don't want to, I just want to make sure you guys, you know, don't think that I'm trying to steer the
No,
No, we want you to steer, that's why.
Well, I will
we asked you to
steer.
do it.
I
I
will.
know you will,
But
but we, well, just hey,
I mean,
this is
this
what we're
is-
doing.
Yeah,
This is your expertise,
right,
so
sure.
they're all important to us. If I had my way, they'd all be included. So that's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
we'll give you the leadway to.
And I don't want, and on the record, I don't want to exclude anybody, that's not our mission here.
Sure.
So, okay, so this is the summary of the Brimfield land use plan, right? And it's still called the draft, they're taking public comment right now, this is on Brimfield's website currently. And so you go down here, and there's all these different tabs here, so I can click on land use and zoning, or I can click on natural resource or housing, or whatever, all of these things, but I don't wanna do it that way yet. I wanna start from the beginning. So we have the introduction, we have the actual plan here. This is not an active link right now because it's not been adopted, but the residents can just click on this and see the plan. You know, one of the complaints about comp plans, they sit on the shelf and nobody looks at them, nobody knows how to find
They're
them.
like dust.
Right, they won't collect dust in this one. So then we describe what a plan is, the planning process, just, you know, the public engagement process, population trends, and you'll see, the plan has a lot more information than this. This is a summary. You talk about housing and housing trends. This shows the current subdivisions in Brimfield, a little brief history of the current subdivisions in Brimfield. This is a map of the housing age, so it shows you when the year built these houses were based on the color on the side. We have natural resources. This is a topography map. This is the floodplains map, where floodplains and wetlands are in the township. And keep in mind, we were talking about doing the same exact thing for the entire county on your side.
Did you do this plan?
Yeah, we did this one.
Right.
And Gail prepared the summary, that's why she's sitting here.
Okay.
And then this is water quality maps. This is the potential maps, where like if you have an industrial site, the potential of polluting the groundwater, if you have a spill. Talks about how fast, this is the soil, so this is hydric soil, so hydric soils are those soils that are wet, high water table. You don't want to put septic tanks there, and you don't want to build heavy structures on them, typically.
You know, Todd, this is such a great thing, and Gail, you did a great job on this, because, you know, it helps for anyone that's looking to come into the community, or a developer. I mean, it's all right there.
Yeah, it gets better, we're not there yet.
You know,
It gets
I've been
better.
wanting to do this for 10 years.
It's been 12, but.
Who's counting?
I'm not counting. So this is cultural resources, you have existing historic sites, and again, there's more information in the plan related to those things. And then we talk about conservation and suitability, things like that, and there's some wellhead protections and some of that. Then we have the community facilities, we have to talk about the parks, schools, civic emergency facilities. But then you get to the transportation, so we have some information related to that. You have the functional class, you have traffic levels. So this is again what Sabrina mentioned. We have the road counts on here, and how many trips per day are going through those roads. Pavement conditions comes from AMIS, so how good the quality of the roads are. That's like a local thing for the residents. We talk about capital improvements. So this is a map of all the transportation improvements that are going to happen in the next 10 years or so. So you can just go point and click on it, and it'll tell you where it is, when it's going to be built, how much it's going to cost, and there's actually 5 other repairs going on. It tells you, so the residents are able to, hold on, I get up here, I gotta close it. Well, I can click over to here, and this is another one. So this is in 2023, it's gonna be another pavement thing that's gonna be done in December 2023. But, excuse me, the award date was 2022, sorry, and then it starts in 2023. You can go ahead and click on these, and it'll tell you what these projects are.
You know, Todd, wouldn't the cost be changing though, depending on, I mean, if you're looking at 3 or 4 years,
Yep.
that cost is not gonna be.
Right, so for example, Brimfield, when we showed this to their zoning commission, they said, we want this information updated annually.
That's what I was.
And so we will, and because they realize how important this information
Sure.
is. So then we have economy, we have, this is like where the JUDs are in the township. This is where the commercial and industrial areas are in the township. We talked, agriculture was a big issue in Brimfield when we did the survey. People want to maintain their heritage and their rural lifestyle. So this is the existing map, our land use map. This is how the land is actually being used. So I can go ahead and click on any of these, and I'm gonna click over here. Because everything's in the way. So this will tell me what the parcel ID number, how many acres it is, the value of that parcel.
Wow.
I can just click around on here. You know, what the auditor has is very similar, all this is auditor data, but this one doesn't tell you who it is, you know, so there's some privacy, you know, protection there. It doesn't give you an address either, you know, you'd have to go onto the auditor's website to get the address. But again, it's more about privacy and stuff like that. We want to make sure you can look at it. I want to know how much, this is a red as a commercial, so I can click on that one, and it'll tell me how much the value of that is, you know, $400,000. So this is, again, will be useful for people coming into the community wanting to look at, you know, maybe buying commercial or industrial land. They can see this really quick how, you know, what the value is. The zoning is another one. You can click on this to take you to the zoning regulation. But over here, I can blow this up a little bit. So if I live here and I go, I don't know what my zoning is, we can click on it, and it says it's R4 and the acres, but we're going to add in things like what the setbacks are and the, you know, the permitted and conditional uses and stuff that people ask all the time. They just don't know. But now you can just go to your maps and just click around on it, and I'll tell you what they are. You know, so that's what we're going to do with that.
This is really impressive.
This is the developable area map that we created. The green area has water and sewer, so that's usually what you need to have good developable land. We also took out like wetlands and floodplains are still in the reds. The reds are bad, greens are good. Yellows mean they have either water or they have sewer. They have one or the other. And then these areas don't have it either. You know, the red areas up here in these four corners. And those are the areas that we're talking about preserving as agriculture. They have the CAUV on them right now. And most of them, almost all of them, or most of them have the CAUV tax reduction on them, and they're active. And then we have an implementation section, and we click again onto the plan. It'll take you to the goals objectives section, but then we summarized all the goals and objectives from each of the elements in the plan, and then that's basically it. So we can do this countywide. You know, I think with with our stuff, and we're working with economic development, I want to put more economic data on there than we have on this one. I think it would be it's not only is it a comprehensive plan, but it's a huge marketing tool for the county.
Correct.
Huge. So that's what we're shooting for.
Now, Todd, is this gonna be done for all townships, all cities, or just the
Well,
ones that want it, or?
It's the ones that want it. So they're gonna, if we do it countywide, they'll have it at the 50,000 foot level, right? But if they want to get more specific than what, you know, and they probably want to drill
Because
down.
I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want this. I mean.
No, I don't. To be honest with you, only Broomfield knows about this. You know, we haven't presented this to the RPC board yet. We just presented it to you today. So you know, we're going to probably present it to the RPC board in our June meeting.
Okay.
Because that's when Broomfield should be, you know, approving their plan.
Because I'm thinking everybody's gonna want this.
Oh, I think so too.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I was thinking of and what you did for the county. This is awesome.
Yeah, and you'll be able.
It's a great marketing
Someone
tool.
who's in real estate, this is idea. I mean, because you have a question, and the difference is, people get confused when they go to the auditor's site and they see the land use versus what it's actually, I mean,
What
how it's
the zoning is.
zoned. There's a
Yeah.
difference between land use and how it's zoned,
Right.
so.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
I'm impressed.
well, thank you, Vicki. We're looking forward to getting started on this, because I think this will be a
And is
great
this
project.
the fruits of Ms. Gail's labor in putting all this?
Yeah.
Getting
So I want to
nice,
give a
great
big
job.
shout out to
Yeah.
Gail.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely, Gail, thank you.
It's,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I can never do that job.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Todd.
Sure. Thanks
Nice
so
job.
much.
All right.
But you know, Gail talks so much. I figured I better slip that in real quick.
I know some years ago, Hiram had a very extensive, like, couple hundred pages, land use plan.
Mm. So we'll be incorporating the concepts they have, but their plan probably needs to be updated.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, yeah.
You're worth your weight in gold.
We're not redoing anybody's
All right,
plan.
Todd, so you'll be coming back next week with our contract.
Knock on wood, Joanne and David, if you're out there.
All
But
right.
it's done. They just have to.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
All right, thank you.
Bye, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Gail.
Okay, we got Kelly Jo. I see Sue is out there.
Yes, Susan.